In 28 years of making TV, I've seen some audience forgive a blurry image or two. I've seen them forgive slightly dodgy lighting. I've even seen them forgive shaky camera work, but I've never, not once, seen an audience forgive bad sound. If your audio is thin, echoey, or competing with a fridge or air conditioning humming in the background, you're not just annoying people, you're actually eroding their trust in your expertise. And if you're a professional trying to win high-value clients, that is a disaster. Because here's what I've seen a lot of people get wrong. They spend $3,000 or $4,000 on a 4K camera. They set up a ring light. They position themselves in front of a nice, clean background. And then they hit record using a $15 no-name mic from Amazon. And it sounds like they're filming inside a tin can. The video looks professional, but the sound says massive amateur. And guess which one your brain pays attention to? So in this video, I'm going to show you why sound is 70% of what people actually experience when they watch your video. I'm going to talk about the proximity rule, the simplest way to improve your video quality without buying a single new piece of kit. And also we'll talk about the clap test, a 10-second diagnostic you can do right now to see if your filming space is ultimately going to be costing you clients. The quick bit of context, I'm Jeremy. I've spent 28 years working on broadcast TV and as a producer and DP of concert films, live shows, Netflix productions. I've been on sets where we've had 6 audio engineers and hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of sound equipment. And I'm going to tell you something they taught me on day one. You can often fix the picture in the edit, but it takes a lot more to fix badly recorded audio. Before we go any further, a quick question for you. Are you watching this because you want to learn how to do video yourself? Or are you thinking, I just want someone to handle this for me so I can focus on running my business? If it's the first one, you want to build the skill, I've got a free course called Video Unlocked. It's designed for people who may be a bit camera shy, maybe you've never filmed before and just need permission to start messy. Link to that is in the description. If you're an IFA, an accountant or a wealth manager and you're thinking, I need video, but I just don't have time to become a videographer or a video creator, I've built a video scorecard for you. It takes a couple of minutes to do and it asks you a few targeted questions, whether you're in a regulated industry, what your quarterly budget looks like, and what your most important win for you and your business is in the next 30 days. And at the end, it tells you exactly which path fits your situation, the DIY training or the done for you production. No guesswork. So the link for both of those things are in the description below. So let's talk about sound. Here's the thing about sound that not many people tell you. Your brain processes audio before it processes the image. When you're watching a video, your conscious brain is looking at the person on screen, but your subconscious brain is listening to the audio. And if the audio feels off, if it's too quiet, if it's too echoey, if it's too distorted, your brain registers it as a threat. Not literally a threat, obviously, but a trust signal. Your brain goes, something's not right here. It doesn't sound good. Maybe this person isn't legit. And once that happens, you've lost them. I'll give you an example. I was working on a live sports show, quite a long show, 3, maybe 4 hours of live TV. 20 minutes in, the presenter's in the middle of a chat with some sports personalities and suddenly his mic cuts out. You can still hear him faintly on the other guests' microphones, but it's clear that there's a problem. His voice sounds distant, thin, really unprofessional. Now, this is live TV. You can't just go, let's stop because there's a technical issue and we'll be back in 5 minutes. So the sound department has to fix it whilst we're on air. They grab a spare handheld mic and run it into the host, but they've got to hand it to him out of shot whilst the camera's on the guest telling their story. So this is all incredibly tightly choreographed. The guest's talking, the camera's on them, and in the background, someone's slipping a handheld mic to the host's hand so that when the camera cuts back to him, he's actually got working audio. Miraculously, the viewers see the host suddenly holding a mic, and more importantly, they can hear him properly again. Then obviously during the next commercial break, the mic pack was quickly removed and then sent off to be repaired. That's a live broadcast with a full technical crew, with backup systems, with people whose entire job is to make sure that the sound does not fail. And even then, it still goes wrong sometimes. So if you're filming yourself in your spare bedroom with a laptop mic and you're wondering why your videos don't feel professional, this is why. Because the moment your audio sounds wrong, people's brains start looking for the exit. And let me tell you what the audio priority actually looks like in the real world. Now, I've filmed concert films for years. Bring Me the Horizon, Heritage Acts, big venues, thousands of people. And in that music touring world, we are very nicely known as the Vidiots, because at a live concert, it is all about the sound. If the audio's not right, it can turn into a commercial disaster for the promoters and for the artists. So frankly, the video crew, we are very far down the pecking order. We're unloading and rigging after everything else has gone in. The PA system's already up, the lighting rig's locked in, the sound desk's being positioned, and then we get to bring all our cameras in. And at the end of the gig, we have to de-rig the quickest, get out of everyone's way, because the sound and lighting crews need that space back. That's the hierarchy. Sound first, everything else second. And before the doors even open, they'll spend an hour, sometimes more, doing sound checks. Not a quick mic test, 1, 2, a proper full-on sound check. Every single element on stage gets tested. Every instrument, every vocal mic, every monitor, they're checking the levels, making sure all the PA speakers are doing what they should be doing in the room. Because if the kick drum's too loud in one corner and the vocals are getting lost in another, the audience leaves disappointed. They don't remember the lighting, they don't remember the video screens. What they remember is, gosh, the sound was terrible. So they spend an hour making sure the audience gets the best possible experience, so they leave with an unforgettable concert. Now that's on a multi-million-pound production with a full audio team with backup systems for everything, and they still spend an hour on sound check going through everything, because everyone in that world knows if the sound isn't right, nothing else matters. A slightly out of focus shot, a bit of camera shake, that can be fixed, stabilized, cut around, cropped. Audio, not so much. If it's broken, it's broken. So if you're filming yourself for LinkedIn, for YouTube, for your website, and you're using your laptop's built-in mic, you're gambling with the one thing you cannot fix later. So here's the rule. The best way to improve your video quality isn't necessarily in investing in a new camera. It isn't a new lens. It's not better lighting even. It's getting the microphone closer to your mouth. That's it. That's the rule. I call it the proximity rule. The closer the mic is to your mouth, the clearer your voice sounds. And the clearer your voice sounds, the more professional you seem. And the more professional you seem, the more your prospects will trust you. It's that simple. You can film on an iPhone 11 in your spare room. You can have a bookshelf in the background that's slightly wonky. But if your audio is crisp, if it sounds like you're speaking directly into someone's ear, they'll assume you know what you're doing, because your brain associates clear audio with authority, with competence, with legitimacy. Thin, echoey, distant audio, it just says amateur hour. Warm, close, clear audio, that's the mark of a professional. So here's what you need to do. Go to the place where you're planning to film, your office, your spare room, wherever it is. Stand in the spot where you're going to be on camera and clap once, loud. Now listen, do you hear a zing, a tail, an echo? If yes, your room is too live. The sound's bouncing off the hard surfaces, walls, windows, desks, and creating a slight reverb. And that reverb makes your voice sound distant and unprofessional. Now you can fix this by using soft furnishings, cushions, rugs, curtains, blankets, anything fabric, because soft materials absorb sound and hard materials obviously reflect it. So if you've got a room with wooden floors, glass windows and bare walls, your audio is going to sound not that great, no matter how good your mic is. But if you plop a rug on the floor, or you hang a curtain, or you stick a couple of cushions in the chair behind you, it will deaden that sound. The sound's absorbed, your voice will start to sound close and clear. So do the clap test right now before you film anything, because I promise you, fixing your audio will do more for your authority than necessarily upgrading your camera ever will. And listen, if you're sat there thinking, okay, I get it, but I still don't know which microphone to buy or whether I should just outsource this whole thing, that's exactly why that scorecard exists. 2 minutes, a handful of questions, and at the end, you'll know exactly what to do next, whether it's grabbing the DIY training or booking a conversation about done-for-you production. The link to the scorecard's in the description below. So you've got your audio sorted, your voice sounds crisp, professional, trustworthy. But here's the next problem that a lot of people come across. They explain things in a way that makes perfect sense to them, but completely loses the audience. And I see this a lot of the time with professionals, accountants, consultants, IFAs. They'll sit down, they'll hit record, and they'll try to explain a complex concept, tax wrappers, pension transfers, ISA allowances, in a completely linear way. First you do this, then you do that, and then if X happens, you do Y unless Z happens, in which case, and 30 seconds into the video, the viewer's eyes have glazed over. Not because they're stupid, But because the human brain doesn't process information linearly, it processes it visually. So in the next video coming up, I'm going to show you how to use visual frameworks to explain complex ideas in a way that actually sticks. I'm going to show you the rule of three, the triangle method, and why every single one of your technical explanations should be drawn as a diagram before you even think about filming it. So make sure you watch that next, because if you're explaining complicated things on camera and people still don't get it, this is your unlock. Listen, I hope you got loads of value from this. If this was useful to you, please do hit subscribe, because I'm building a series here that takes you from I'm terrified of video to I've got a system that brings me clients every month. And if you want the next step, whether it's the free Video Unlocked course or the 2-minute scorecard, links to both of those are in the description below. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.